Hello and welcome back to the channel. It's good of you to look in again. Okay, so what have we got today? Well, I've made a bit of progress with the main layout. I'll show you that shortly. We're going to de-rust some of the Super 4 track. Now let me tell you, for the layout I'm building, this is going to be quite a job. So today I'm going to make a start on that and I'm going to show you how I do it. And we'll see whether it's successful. And also, I've got a little update. Now before I give you that, there's just another Smith Cetric clock there. This really is going to be the last one I rescue for a bit, or I'm going to have to get checked out for some sort of issue, but it's going beautifully after a clean. Just checked all the continuities, nothing wrong with the coil. Great clock. Now, down here is our old friend, the dog Shunter, who you might remember from my very first video. Now, he was damaged quite badly on the buffer beam. But look now, sporting a nice new front ladder. Now, can you guess where I got that from? Or how I got it? Maybe that will help. 3D printing. Now I think this is going to be the way forward with some model railway repairs. I treated myself to a broken 3D printer from a well-known auction site. Spent an evening or two tinkering around with it. Downloaded a CAD program. Designed this little ladder, which once I'd mastered the program didn't take very long at all. And printed it out, and look at it glued on there. I think the 3D printer is going to be a great tool for model railways, especially restoring some slightly damaged triang. I've got a couple of locomotives that have got steps missing, little bits broken, and I think using the modern glues with the accelerator, the fillers you can use with the super glues, a little bit of sanding and filing and then painting, we're going to be able to really make some nice repairs. So I'll keep you up to date on what I get up to with those. But meanwhile, I think he's quite happy with his new ladder. But let's put him on the side and show you where we're going to mix up our rust removing product. Now down here I've set up a little camping stove and my scales, and after I've opened the door to let a bit of fresh air in, because it is a gas stove, we'll come back and I'll show you how I mix up my solution. Right, I've got plenty of fresh air coming in. So what have we got down here? Well, we've got a little stove, which I shall light. Nice old saucepan. Just for this, 1.4 litres of just normal tap water. Now there's many of these sort of things available. This is just what I've got left over in the workshop. I'm not going to name it, but you might see from the video, I don't know what the definition will be like, but it's just a water-soluble rust remover. Great stuff, used it on many things, and I think it's going to be just the job for the model railway. Now, it does say you can mix it in various strengths, and of course you can save it and reuse it, which is great. But what I tend to do is I don't mix it up as strong or as weak as they say. I go middle of the road, so we're going for about a 10% solution there. So there's the water. Got 130, 140 grams of the product. Now it does take a bit of dissolving, so I'm going to put it in like that. And then we'll wait for it to warm up, give it the odd stir, and once it's fully dissolved and at a nice sort of 40-50 degrees, we'll take it over to the workbench, and I'll show you the little troughs I've made that we're going to use. But before then, while that gets up to temperature, let's go upstairs and I'll show you the updates that I've got with the main railway. So I'll just gather the camera up and we'll go upstairs and see what's been happening. Hello, and here we are back upstairs. Firstly, just sorry about that glare in the centre. I've got skylights in this roof and we've got particularly bright sunny days, so that's what's happening in the centre there. And I don't have any blinds. Now, if you look at the baseboard, you'll see I've already just started laying out some of my Super 4, which is obviously in need of jolly good restoration. Now this is, I think I mentioned before in a previous video, we're looking at 6 foot by 12 foot here. Now I've selected to work from, I'm going to take ideas from this track plan, which is a old Hornby track plan, Triang Hornby, and I thought it looked quite interesting. So I'm basing my layout on this. Now the most notable difference is I've decided not to go for the elevated section on the branch line, and I'm going to run it right round the edge. So where it goes at sort of 6 o'clock on the plan, where it crosses over the main lines and loops, I'm just going to continue round the outside of the 2 main lines and then join it in at the top by the station, which means I can either have 3 train continuous loops, or I can run end to end on the branch line, but I think it'll just bring a bit more fun to running longer trains. Now also, I mean, the turntable I've got at the moment here is it's not my proper Super 4 one, because sorry, but I can't find it. It's packed away somewhere, but I will come across it soon, so that's another one just for planning. So I think I might have some engine sheds there. And then right in the centre of the layout I've got quite a bit of space because of it being a bigger board, so I was experimenting. I might have some sort of a, well, it's going to be a yard of some sort, so whether it's just a sort of Freightliner yard or just for shunting, or I even experimented with building a ramp for hump shunting yard, so I'm just going to work out and see what fits in there. But I'm pleased with how the track's laying out, and I think I've more or less fully decided how this is going to be, so I need to get on with it. So we'll get back downstairs, and hopefully the stove will have done its work, and we'll mix up some solution for cleaning some of these rails. So I'll see you back down there. Right, here we are at the bench. Self-explanatory really. I've just made some, using normal guttering and stop ends, I've just made a couple of troughs. There's all different types of fish plates in these tracks, so we've got some of the welded on and some of the ones I quite like, which are the ones held on with the tabs. So I'm going to put all the tabbed fish plates in a little container to clean them. So we've got quite a selection of track here. Got a long container for these big straights. I think I've nearly got enough now, so I'll just finish off this one, and the product is nicely dissolved. So we'll get it in and start the process. Okie dokie. let me just go and grab the solution. Right, so I'm just going to pour this in carefully, just to cover the rails. Some there. Now I have got the door open. I would advise against breathing in these fumes. So just need enough to completely cover. There we go. I'll just check everything's actually in the solution. I don't think it's a good idea to mix up curves with straights. I've erred there. But anyway, that's pretty much all under. So we'll give that a quarter of an hour, and then we'll come back and check how it's doing. Right, here we are back at the rails. I've moved the camera a bit closer, so hopefully I can get some good shots. I've just been reading the health notes on the bottle. Always the right thing to do when you're using a product, and it does say that the vapour is completely harmless and the solution itself is not dangerous, but obviously wash your hands if you get it on you. But I think I'll put this glove on. Now, let's start off with the fish plates. Let's have a look. There's lots of particles in there. It's definitely done some cleaning because this was a very, very clean container. So this has all come off them. And if I try and get this, I don't know whether it's focusing, but they are amazingly clean compared to what they were like before. So it's been between half and 3/4 of an hour. The solution isn't cold, but it's now only just barely tepid. Now, what about the rails themselves? Well, let's delve into here, see if I can grab one. Like fishing. Right, let's have a look. Well, amazing, really. I don't think I could have cleaned that with a wire wool and got it so clean. You can just see that the rust has gone. All it's done is left a mottled finish to the metal. But super clean. I mean, when I run that finger along the top of that rail, it's smooth. Lovely. They vary very much depending on the level of corrosion initially. So this one here that is very, let's just see if I can get the pliers on this one. Just bear with me, please. Right, now this one wasn't too bad and has a welded on fish plate. That's amazing. That fish plate, the whole, I don't know whether you can see it, the camera's very tricky at focusing, but that is amazing. That is so much cleaner. There's just like a galvanised effect on the rail where the corrosion has been removed and left different coloured patches. Let's go into this shorter tank. Alright. Oh, now this one was very bad. And again, we've got this mottling. And the fish plate as well, which was absolutely just solid rust. It's now a dull grey, but no corrosion on there at all. They're very clean. I mean, I'm sure with just a light polishing of that surface, they could be used as they are now. I think it raises the question, doesn't it? You know, do I go the whole hog and plate them? Or do I just accept them free of corrosion. I wonder what the way forward is. If you've got an opinion, please leave a comment. I guess there's going to be different schools of thought on this, but I can't honestly make my mind up. I think the way forward is I'm going to have to do a bit of plating and then take a view, because, you know, I am putting a bit of effort into this layout and I want it to look nice and I want it to run well. So maybe I am going to have to plate it. I think I'll have to build a little tank so I can suspend some rails and get some plating going on. Now, that's obviously for another video. What I can do is leave these a little longer and then I'll drain the product into a container so I can use it again, because you can use it several times. What I will do is I will dry the rails and put them somewhere warm. Now, I think if I wasn't going to attempt plating, I'd obviously perhaps give them a squiff with a sort of water repellent spray to prevent any corrosion. But I think today that's probably not what I'm going to do. Well, I've had some quite good results from my point of view. Very pleased with this rust removal. Equally pleased with the possibilities that the 3D printer throws up. And I'm excited about my main layout. Now I've got an idea of the track plan. So I'm enthusiastic to move forward with this sort of resurrection of the Triang and the early Hornby and Wren 2-rail model railway. So hopefully on the next video we can experiment with some plating, and I look forward to that. So I imagine that I will try and get on with that fairly shortly, because it's not the sort of thing I can make over just one afternoon, and if I want it ready for next week I'm probably going to have to do it in various stages. So until then I'm going to tidy up here and look forward to the next video. So I thank you very much for looking in, and I'll say goodbye for now.